better sit down. I've got some news. Well, I'm getting out. Cutting you.
Hello, and welcome to yet another episode of Memphis on the Mark. I am Mark Jones, your host, and today's special guest is Corey Mesler. Corey, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I'm honored to be here.
Well, I'm glad you're here. We're going highbrow today.
Not with me, you're
with
not.
the author and bookstore, so I'm wearing the glasses. I need these for reading, so when I buy a book at your bookstore, I go home and I put on the glasses.
I get the connection.
And I read.
When I put these on, I try to feel like I'm David Byrne.
Sure. Well, I can see. I can see the resemblance. You and your wife own Burke's bookstore.
Yep.
That is one of the oldest bookstores in the nation?
In the country. We're second or third, I'm not sure. The Moravian bookstore in Pennsylvania is like 1600s.
Wow.
So we're not going to ever pass them.
No.
But
Even if they shut down today, it would be another
right.
150
I'd
years.
be out, so what do I care? No, I think it's second or third. I'm really not sure.
Wow, I had no idea.
Be 145 this year.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow, it doesn't look a day over 120.
I know.
So,
I only started when it was 100. So
yeah, well, y'all done well. And you started when it was on Poplar.
I started in my first gig there was in 1988. I had just gotten married, had a child, and it was down among the pawn shops in the 600 block.
Okay.
Yeah, I was briefly at that location. Then we moved to 1719 Poplar, where it became really the store it is today.
Right.
The big store with new and used. Yeah.
And now you're located in Cooper Young.
Thank God.
And it's like, I mean, obviously you were in a neighborhood, the bookstore was in a neighborhood on Poplar, but you're really in a community now.
Yeah, we were getting no foot traffic at the old location, and we were dying, and we had to get out from underneath that mortgage.
Right.
And so Cooper Young just made perfect sense, and we've lived here ever since
Sure.
we got married, and Cooper Young just made perfect sense. And
Well, I see you
we're so
walking to
proud.
work
Yeah, it's great.
all the time.
I know, it's great.
Well, you can't beat that.
You cannot. I've threatened to come in my pajamas, but Cheryl says no.
Well, it could be pajama day. At,
I wish.
There was a store back, I think it was where they had Naked Day at this location.
I was trying to remember the name of that store the other day I was talking. It was down like where the drum shop was?
I think it's where Memphis Literacy Foundation used to be in the building.
In that building? Yeah.
And now it's something else, like a
Yeah.
co-op work, but they had Naked Day.
Right, and the police came and shut
Oh,
it down.
yeah. And then the commercial appeal had a picture of this guy, and his backside was just barely anyhow.
Yeah, anyway, that's
So
Cooper Young.
that's Cooper Young. So you going to work in your pajamas
It would not be that
would just be another day
Yeah.
another day. It's a great American neighborhood. We got bookstores, we got comic book, we got all sorts of bars and restaurants.
Great food.
Record store.
Great record store.
Yeah. The LGBT community center.
I know, it's just, I mean, it's so dear to my heart because everything I love seriously is around me.
Yeah.
And being agoraphobic, that's important to me.
Right.
I'm blocks away from everything I love.
Well, that's good. It is the quintessential American neighborhood.
Yeah, it's great.
And it is good. Do y'all go to other conferences with other bookstore owners?
We used to. Cheryl goes every once in a while to the American, they don't call it that anymore, I can't remember, BEA. It used to be the American Booksellers Association Conference. It's once a year and it's huge, and a lot of authors come. Cheryl's gone a couple of times. I can't, of course, but she still does that a little bit. We kind of don't have the money to do that a lot,
But it's an option.
yes.
It's an option. Now, do you ever go over to Laurelwood Shopping Center and just kind of go up to the other bookstore and start doing this?
No. Very friendly.
Getting ready to rumble?
Very friendly. My best friend is the manager at NOM, Eddie Burke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Eddie and I came up in the book business together. We both started at Walden's in Raleigh Springs Mall.
Right.
When we were 19. Yeah.
Oh, so you've been in the book business, in the book game.
Always.
The book game, as they call it.
Yeah, I think I'm past 50 years.
Wow.
No, no, 50. Well, my math is terrible.
Well,
I'm
you're-
almost at 50 years.
Give or
so
take,
I'm heading toward 50
you're close
years.
to 50. That is amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
So you walked into our little studio here, and you knew the crew.
Yeah, we did a movie together. I love these guys. I've, as you know, I've dabbled in the Memphis movie scene.
Yes.
And I wish I were more than a dabbler because I was so impressed with everything that happened. But we made a movie with Don Myers directing
Right.
from a screenplay of mine called Hypnotic Induction, and it was great. I mean,
Yeah.
it took a long time, and it was beautifully done. And these guys are geniuses, and
Yes, they are. They make me look somewhat handsome.
they
so-
made the film look good. I'm telling you, it's beautiful. It's just for a writer to see my words up on the screen
Yes.
at a movie house. I mean, I was peeing myself. Can I say that? I mean, it was just unbelievable because my second favorite thing in the world besides books is movies.
Wow.
I'm such a big movie fan. So
Well, what do you prefer? I mean, like a story comes out and it's in a book, and then you see it as a movie. Do you ever like say, "Oh, the book was better, the movie was better," or is it
of mine or
No, just in general.
in
What is
general,
your thoughts?
the book 95% of the time the book's better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because you can
I
go.
can name the ones that it's not.
Do you want to do that? Or maybe we shouldn't. We don't want any authors.
Jaws.
Yes.
Okay.
Sure. That is a great movie.
Yes.
The suspense and the way.
From a pretty crappy book. Psycho.
I didn't realize that was a book.
Dull book.
Really?
Great movie.
Okay, Jaws and Psycho. Those are two
There's two good ones.
great American movies by great American directors.
Indeed. Yeah, and Stanley Kubrick can take a book, and of course his film's going to be better than the book, and especially if it's a Stephen King book. I know Stephen King wasn't happy with his movie, but the movie's so superior to
Okay.
The Shining.
The Shining, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, very good. Do you have any?
I'm too opinionated.
This is what we're.
I'll
You're the
tamp that
guest.
down.
No, please speak your mind.
Okay.
Speak your mind. Now, just in case anyone at home is wondering, there is a band that is warming up, practicing, in case they hear some bass music in the background.
I like it because it's coming up through my chair.
Yes,
it's like
so
it's like a massage after pickleball. I need this.
Right. You play pickleball.
I do.
What is that? That is like the fastest growing hobby or sport.
It's the fastest growing non-professional sport in the world.
Wow.
Yep.
Can you describe it to us?
I used to call it geriatric tennis.
Okay.
Because it's played indoors with paddles and a wiffle ball, just like the wiffle ball you
Okay.
used to play with as a boy.
Sure.
And it started with old people because it was safe.
Sure.
It wasn't as fast. You couldn't hit the ball the hard. And now, apparently, it's like being taught in elementary schools. It started way back in '65, I think,
Really?
in Oregon.
And it just took a long time for it to move east, or
It took a long time to catch on. I'd never heard of it till about 5 years ago.
I'm the same way. People started playing at my church, and I didn't know. I thought, honestly, I didn't know what it was. I thought it was a form of basketball.
No, it's
Like people, some
it's
sort
played
of
with a tennis net,
Yeah.
like a tennis net, and it's almost tennis rules. There are a few different things that are different about it. It's just a great game.
Well, we redid our gym, and as you know, they actually put 3 courts. We got
We're
basketball
so
courts,
happy.
and they got 3 actual courts instead of having to tape it out.
And we fill them every time we play. We get like 20 players there
Really?
at Idlewild every day.
Yeah, well, it's open, for the public. So
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
want to play pickleball,
$2.
$2 is a
$2
little
a time.
donation. We got
Yep.
we got to pay the light bill.
Right.
Gotta
And
pay.
but it's worth it. It's just such a great sport.
Now, how these are like a round robin tournament, or just whoever shows up, you just kind of play?
It's
and-
all loose, the way we played. In
Sure.
other places, I think it's more structured, but we're not structured.
Well, it's
We're
among
about-
pickleball friends.
Yeah, we have fun. Same group. There's about 6 or 7 of us from the original group that started at Idlewild.
Okay. Well, very good.
Yes.
Very good. You got any? Are you writing? You've published over 20 books.
Yes, I have. And my new novel. Oh, wait. This is going to be contrived, right? Here's an invitation to the party.
Wow, kids! Your new novel.
My new novel comes out next week.
Camel's Bastard Son.
Yeah, and that's an invitation to my signing the end of the month.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this book. I think it might be the second best novel I've written.
Really, and it'll be. I'm going to read it out loud. Saturday, the February 29th,
Thank you.
from 3 to 5 p.m. At the bookstore,
Right, my one-stop
Burke's bookstore.
one-stop signing tour.
Yes, so the Saturday 29th, 3 to 5, you'll do a reading at 3:30, and will you sign
I will
books?
sign as many as people buy.
They got to buy them. You're not going to just sign.
That's right.
And you're only signing your book. You're not going to be signing.
I'll sign anything else, any of my older stuff.
Okay, but you know,
Because-
like T-shirts
No.
or.
I will. I mean,
or
what do I
someone-
care?
I was at a General Hospital fan club event recently at Graceland, and they were only signing photos, but people bring stuff like, oh, here's a. And they told us they were going to sign a photo that they already like a headshot, but
Yeah.
people would bring Us magazine from 1980 featuring, you know, Jeannie Francis and Anthony Geary, Luke and Laura, and she would sign. They were all good sports.
Yeah.
It was. I didn't have any of that. I just got there.
Do you know the Truman Capote story? I don't know how off color I can make this. Is this like shown to kids?
And it's on the internet.
Okay. Well, okay.
Have you seen-
anything goes?
Have you seen CBS at 7 o'clock? I mean,
Truman Capote said he was in a restaurant once and a woman came over to his table and lowered her shirt and said, "Will you sign my breast?" And he signed her breast and she went back to her table. A few minutes later, a man, obviously her husband, came over in a rage and said, "What the hell are you doing signing my wife's breast? Would you sign my penis?" Except he used another word.
Sure.
And Truman Capote said, "I won't sign it, but I'll initial it."
hey,
I think he made up the story, but it's a great story.
oh, it is a great story. He was known to fabricate a few things.
Yeah.
What a good story about autographs. So we went from your book to General Hospital to Truman Capote, all within about 2 minutes span.
Right.
That is good. So anything else as we wrap up? Anything, you got any books, anything?
I got the new novel coming out. I'm working on another. I have another novel coming out next year. So yeah, the writing's going well.
Oh, I wanted to mention, you've had celebrities come into the bookstore.
Yes.
Can you name a few?
Michael Jackson is the big one that everybody wants to hear about. But my favorite was Gene Hackman,
Okay, yes.
one of my favorite actors. Who else? Matt Dillon.
Matt Dillon, oh, right.
Yeah.
What was
he
his
came
name?
into the new location.
Okay,
Mary Louise Parker.
right.
All the, you know, when they were filming the Grisham films,
Yes.
we'd get the stars in. Here's a funny thing about Mary Louise Parker. She came in and she'd been jogging and she'd fallen and she scraped her knee.
Mm-hmm.
And she came up to the counter and I said, "You're a movie star." And she rather petulantly said, "I'm an actress."
Oh.
So I said, "Okay."
Did she need any help with her leg? Did you give her some Band-Aids?
I wish. She's a
Yeah.
doll. I started to say, I had a great comeback, but I didn't say it. See, I have an editor, because I started to say, "No, I've seen your work. You're just a movie star."
Oh,
See, that would have been
snap.
good, right? Yeah.
And then you
I
might have
didn't.
lost a sale.
Yeah. She didn't buy anything. She came in and used the bathroom to
Oh,
dab
my,
her
well,
knee.
wait a second
Yeah.
now.
On the other hand, Michael Jackson and Lisa Marie,
Right?
$800 worth of books.
Wow.
And it's okay to say this now because he's dead, but his credit card bounced.
Oh. Wow. We're learning something now, kids.
Isn't that funny?
That is, yes.
Of course, they stacked up these books, and I mean, it was enormous stacks of books. And then these suited gentlemen who looked like they could take care of you very easily
Sure.
came to take the books away and pay. And the head security guy came up and offered it the card, and I put it in. I said, "You're probably not going to believe me, but this says there's no funds there." And he says, No, I put $10,000 on that yesterday.
On his debit card or whatever.
Yeah, and I put that in again. I said, "Look, here's the machine here. It's saying no." So he said, "What do I do?"
Yeah.
I said, "You're in charge."
Had they already taken the books to the car?
The cards, they're already in the van. So I said, "I tell you what, give me your business card and mail me a check."
Really?
Yeah.
And they did?
And he did, and he FedExed the check. It came the next day.
Oh, that's awful
It
nice.
was a nice ending to the story.
Yeah, it is a good ending to the story.
Yeah.
It really is. So now I'm going to do a little thing I call Moments with Mark. On today's episode of Moments with Mark, I was recently in New York, and my husband and I went to Bryant Park, and they've got an ice skating ring in Bryant Park, good size, And they've actually put up a little alpine village, and they've got shops, and they've got a little lodge you can go. It's cold, so you go inside. They have different places you can get food, places to eat. They had a band playing, and then they had more shops outside. It's like a 10-day or 14-day pop-up event. Well, guess what? Our football stadium stays empty from like January 2nd to, I think they do a spring game, the college does, but I mean, for 3 or 4 months, it's empty in the winter. So why not, we could put a temporary ice skating rink, good size, make a little alpine village, have an indoor lodge like they did. People just kind of Google ice skating in Bryant Park at home, and you can learn more about this. But it'd be great for the Liberty Bowl, and would give some use, and there's already built-in bathrooms in the place, and water and all that. And Bryant Park has grass, and they were putting all this on top of the grass, and they didn't seem to be worried about it. And the turf in the Liberty Bowl Stadium is AstroTurf, so we won't be hurting the grass. So let's try to get that done. I don't know who's in charge of the Liberty Bowl Stadium, but I'm giving you a free idea. So, good. Corey, thank you so much for being on the show.
Here,
thanks for your stories.
Okay.
Better sit down. I've got some news. Well, I'm getting